Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here, guys, at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Oh, what a champion. From yesterday's recording till now, up about almost 7%. I was expecting us to retest 44K and break that level, but honestly didn't expect a test here of about 46,000. That's really awesome stuff here. So congrats again to those who took some nice long positions with Bitcoins, altcoins, whatever the case. I know we did as a community. Just to quickly clarify, we took some profits from Solana, SNX and RDNT, and of course the graph here at that point too as well for about a 10-day trade. Keep in mind there was roughly $1.1 billion traded in 14 minutes yesterday when the price took off and didn't stop to look back. So again, a lot of that stuff happens, and yeah, if we can take a look here, in fact, let's just jump right in. We can see we have some liquidation levels here between 43 and 44,000. There's a heavy concentration between 46 and 47,000 for shorts. I think that's quite risky entering a short of the market right now. And the main reason why is because we got a lot of important key level supports and resistances based on fib levels and also previous closes. Okay, so if we take a look here at 46,000, we can see even. That's at 1.272 fib level, extremely important level, oftentimes an initial rejection level. And we can see here the price comes right up to that point and turned itself right around. Keep in mind, we've also got this weekly candlestick close at 47,000. If you take a look at the weekly time frame, we can see back here, I've noted that it was roughly back in April when the price action couldn't cross that level. That was back in 2022, mind you. 2022 in April, we had the price action coming down and tried to recover there, and that was a last ditch effort before Bitcoin eventually plummeted down to about 15,000 a few months later. Either way you look at it, 47,000, 46,000, those are some key areas there for us. All the more reason why I think this is risky behavior. If I'm going to consider a short, I'm thinking 48 to 50. Okay. Again, just some thoughts there, outside looking in, big picture stuff. So looking at the big picture, speaking of which, we still got a couple of fib levels up here. Of course, we got our previous most recent from the top to bottom, effectively this most recent range bound activity we saw. Now that it's broken through that, we can kind of use these reversed fibs for a moment, but we'll update the fib levels here soon, is this the simple way to understand it. But cool thing about fib levels is larger time frame ones, they give you more specific key levels. And at this point here, we can understand that we are pretty safe to say 46 to 47,000 is a tentative resistance level, okay? Or a range, however you put it. We're still in a situation right there where we gotta respect that. So speaking of respect, look at this here. We broke back up above the 20-day SMA, and now we're ascending positively in this trend line here, so we can redraw some trend lines too. Concurrent with the 20-day SMA, we'll wait on that for a moment because I want to look at a couple of other things. We are still swinging upwards on stochastic RSI. Nice little bounce off 50 on the traditional RSI, and money flow index is high. We can see though however that traditional RSI is above the money flow index. I don't love seeing that. This typically implies there could be somewhat of a pullback, but we have a strong convergence here on the MACD, almost fully converged. So those are mostly great signs here. Okay, there's very, very little. If you have to look really close to see that there is potential for downside on the daily time frame. Okay, so again, that's just the daily time frame. It's a big picture, not something we want to concern ourselves with too much, but understanding that we're in an overall ascending trend. We broke through those previous resistance levels. It's a very, very strong sign. Okay, so that does imply 44.8 or round number to say 45,000 is a close approximate will be our new support level. The price does pull back. There's a decent chance we get a bounce off that range. Okay, moving forward here on the 4-hour time frame. Quickly to note, MACD is converging strong. No surprise there. Stochastic RSI is starting to taper off a little bit, but it's right there at the 100 mark. Not much to really note there. We can also see here traditional RSI and money flow index looking very strong. MFI above the RSI, which is equally as important as what I mentioned earlier. In other words, you want to have more money flowing into the coin in this case here, this is mostly the last 3 trading days, because it shows that even though, yes, we are overextended, we have the money flow to support it. Okay, so with all that money flowing into this coin, it should be able to sustain this price action, which does imply a pullback is less likely. Okay, so again, I know it seems very juicy to try to get into a short position right now, but a little premature in that sense. If we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, of course, we're going to get all green lights letting us know we're still in good position here. Do not consider taking a short, at least not for a little while. We can see the cloud is essentially hanging out here at about 44,800, right there at that previous resistance, new support. So 44.8, to clarify, is a likely support level here for us. We can also summarize the fact that we have roughly about a full trading day's worth of trading before we need to kind of consider shifting gears and potentially even considering a short. So between now and then, not really advantageous to consider a short. I also feel it's kind of scary because with all this liquidation up here in this range, it's really important to understand that that those are going to be pretty sought after targets. Don't get wrong, 41,000 is equally as sought after. In fact, there's more concentration down here than there is up here. But which is closer? Okay. Again, you got to have a lot of money to be able to push the price action down to 41,000, but you only have to have a legitimate amount of money to push the price action up further. Okay, and again, that's how whales are playing their games. They're going to continue to push the price action up, I feel, at this point, and I do not think we're going to see the price pull back anytime soon. That having said, altcoins can effectively continue to do well, but we do got to recognize as well, Bitcoin dominance is increasing, and as that starts to increase, we can also start to see altcoins come down. Okay. There's a potential reality, it's not 100%, but pay attention to the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin price is up, altcoin dominance is up, we're all well and good, but as soon as the price of Bitcoin pulls back, then we start seeing some alts start to suffer. Again, I have this pinned in my education section under my Discord, so if you're kind of curious how that works, we should be in good shape here, but again, I would expect alts to come down and or dump soon, depending on how the price action for Bitcoin starts to stabilize. So those are just some things I'm going to start paying attention to, but at this point, it's nothing to really write home about. The truth is Bitcoin's going up and most altcoins are going up too, so continue to ride that wave, but as soon as Bitcoin starts to retrace, we can expect some kind of pullback from alts. Okay, I think that's pretty safe to presume. So just, if you're trading altcoins, be very safe and ensure that you're securing your profits on the way up. Try not to get super greedy. Don't try to follow XYZ online, Mr. 100x leverage that's got 1,000x% return. Come on, this trading isn't always like that. Yes, you'll get lucky sometimes, but the truth is moving your profit targets up or taking profits as well as adjusting your stop loss higher, that's where the money's at. Okay, so don't let anybody fool you that taking profits is a bad thing. It's completely normal. All right, folks, that's about all we got here. Last but not least, of course, if you haven't already, Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Use my link to register down below. They are phenomenal. No KYC, no VPN required. My favorite exchange pretty much ever. I love Bitget. They're one of my favorites too. But again, the KYC requirements and VPN kind of screwed over a lot of our US and Canadian members. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Anyways, we've adjusted and adapted. Check them out. They do have a trading competition coming up here on the 8th of January. So be sure to check that out. Use my link to register. You'll be automatically eligible for that. I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. Thanks again.